Today we're going to tell you exactly what conversational topics are more likely to lead to sex. So by the end of the video, you know exactly what to talk about with that girl that you want to have that naked dance with. We've watched thousands of conversations, with our clients. We've approached thousands of girls between us, and over the years we've coached over 500 clients. So we know exactly what works and what doesn't. Today we're going to give you the 4 topics that lead to sex with examples that you can quite literally just copy and paste, and also exactly how to use those topics in your conversations.
Why do men not escalate? Before we get into the 4 topics we're going to give you and how to use them, we've got to figure out why we don't sexually escalate the conversations. It comes down to 2 things normally. It's because you're scared, right? You just don't know how to do it. And let's be honest, sexual tension is scary. It's uncomfortable. It always is, right? Or the classic thing from every guy, they don't want to be rejected. Scared of rejection the entirety of the game of life. Why don't you succeed? Scared of rejection. How often have we had, and myself including this, and Les I'm sure as well, these dates, these platonic dates where it's very friendly, but there's no spot, there's no sexual tension, and lo and behold, does it end up with you going back to the house with the girl? Absolutely not. You're going home in your Uber going off, for God's sake, another one bites the dust, right? But it's totally on you. We put ourselves in the friend zone. So by understanding how to run this stuff as a vein throughout your conversations sexually, on dates, or nights out even, then you can consistently get sexual with the girl, create that sexual tension, and then take the girl home and feed the pony. There was one particular story. I met a girl, Finnish girl in Oxford Circus day game, tall, smoking hot, blonde, very feminine, gave me the big eyes. I was
the reason why we start this, basically, to meet this type of girl.
Exactly. I was in my suit and I had my briefcase with my ham sandwich
with a banana
and nothing else, and it flopped open. But I saw this stunner. We got in the conversation. I thought, oh great, this is awesome. Like it was too textbook. I was almost thinking, right,
it's too good to be true.
Is she a lady boy or is she a lady of the night? Like it was too good to be true. It was the conversation was flowing. She was clearly into me, and she was an absolute worldie. We went on a date, and I remember it was a place called Sketch in Mayfair. Sitting down next to her. Date I thought was going very well. Like it was flowing in my mind. And about 90 minutes into the date, she put her hand on my leg, and I was just thinking, oh, this is great.
We're about to get out of here.
Yeah, hand on my leg, and went, oh, this. I feel so comfortable with you right now. This is so nice to be with someone I trust, or something like that. And I was thinking,
just knew it was tickets. You were dead in the water when she said that.
Yeah, at that point I was like, I'm fucked, right? And I didn't know, there was no structure. I had no idea like how to the importance of sexualizing. How ironically, by risking being sexual, you're way less likely to get rejected than rejected, right?
Yeah.
Those willing to go, it's usually the paradox of you're willing to fail and crash and burn and get rejected, it works, right?
Yeah.
But just the need, we've been conditioned in the Anglosphere especially, you grew up in South Africa, I grew up in London too, as a former mentor, or I would say, hide our dicks, because we've been told, right, it's not
that's the done
right thing
right?
to do. And we're not talking literally, metaphorically hide our dicks, right? Not show sexual intent. Women don't want to know you want to get with them. You can't create moments of tension, moments of sexuality, right? It's bad, and we've been conditioned out of it. But the reality is you absolutely need to be able to do it. So that was a story where I was just like, fuck, I've got to work on this stuff. I've got to sort this out.
Yeah, and because of that, we are giving you the 4 topics that lead to sex a lot more easily, right? And we're also going to go over exactly how to implement them. So what are the 4 topics, Mr. Tusk?
So traveling is one of the topics. There's 3 others, but just knowing these topics is okay, but it's not going to actually help you implement, conversations that lead to sex. At the end of the video, we're going to give you the actual breakthrough of how to actually contextualize this and introduce it so you can practically use it moving forward to maximize the sexualness of your conversations on dates with women. I like your vibe. Like you seem not Polish. No, but you seem like energetic, like excited to be alive.
I was living in 3 countries, so maybe that's why.
You're like me, so you go outside. I've been traveling for 7 years.
Yeah, so maybe that's why, because
Which was the 3 countries? Very extrovert
England?
place. You living in London? I'm from London.
No, London. The Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
By the
so
sea.
Hard
Where all the old people are, with all the old people. Okay.
Yeah. So that in Paris, in France.
All right, so the second topic of the 4, tattoos and piercing, right? The reason these are topics that can lead to sex is because often how girls have tattoos in various places on their body. So if you're talking to a girl, which one way you could somewhat bring this up is go, I can see you've got a snake on your arm. Have you got tattoos anywhere else, right?
Yes, I have the inner arm.
The inner arm, you've got other tattoos on the body, and normally girls have multiple tattoos, right? So it's an easy topic that can get you talking more about the intimate areas of the girl's body.
Sure. Are you very muscled?
I don't think so.
Let's see the guns. Let's see the guns.
I don't think so.
And you have tattoo. What's the tattoo?
La dolce vita.
Ah?
La dolce vita.
¿Qué significa?
In Italiano.
Italian.
The sweet life.
Life in Italian. And what does it mean to you? Or you were just drunk and you just like you were thinking, oh, maybe I need to make up some proper meaning. Partying. So linked to travel and adventure is partying. So, you know, we live in a world now where girls have partied a lot, especially in the Anglosphere, right? US, UK, Canada, Australia. You're party girl, you should know, right? You're going out 24/7. You don't like to go out at all? You don't drink mezcal, tequila, you don't like music?
I like to party, but I don't like alcohol.
So you just go out,
Yeah,
nothing?
but I don't.
Just good vibes for you. Women have gone to college, they've partied, right? So again, introducing this, which will give you the keys to how to do it at the end of the video. Situations where alcohol flowing, she's socializing, she's around high value men, she's on holiday, maybe combined, she's at some private event, things happen, right? This is exactly the cocktail of mix where things go down. Well, I need an update. Now where do I go? So I want a cool place, like where you can get table, and there'll be some cool guys from different countries. Where can I go? Like have a placement for Celebi, like this kind of classy vibe.
And if you're speaking about that, naturally she's going to be thinking about that as well, right? Oh, you know, you look like a party girl. I can imagine you partied a lot when you were a lot younger, and then immediately she's going to be thinking about certain experiences that she's had during that time.
The key just to thread in with all of this stuff is always be non-judgmental.
That's a good point.
Whether you vibe with a girl straight away on the street, and these sort of things come up, which we'd encourage you to do, because be interested but also interesting. Don't just ask the bog standard questions, get into like fun, see if people are willing to vibe, right, by offering out an olive branch of, okay, interesting question. But also on the date, never be judgmental. Whatever comes up, even if inside you're going, right, maybe for one night, but there's no chance I'm ever seeing this girl again, right, for something more substantial, never be judgmental, because as soon as you start judging,
then they close up, right?
She'll
They can
shut
feel it.
down.
Even if you think that you're trying not to be judgmental, they'll still just feel like a slight shift in your energy.
100%.
And then they'll close up. All right, the last topic, right? The last conversational topic that leads to sex, dating dynamics. So just general dating dynamics, what men like in women, what women like in men, what she likes in men, what she likes in women. She swings both ways. And that's a great way, just in terms of, you know, leading the conversation to something a little bit more sexual, like, oh, you know, what's your guilty pleasure? Things along those lines.
How do you meet guys?
How do I meet guys?
Yeah, like in real
Actually,
life or like
yeah,
Tinder?
in real life.
Ah, okay, so this is normal. Like someone says, oh, hello.
No, it's actually.
I can't
because of my
imagine
friends,
Polish
you
men
know.
doing this, you know?
I'm going to my friend's party, and
Oh,
there
so
will
like-
be another guy.
So like social circle kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Right, so how, Mr. Tusk, the golden question, how do we actually implement this in a conversation? How can we bring this up smoothly in a conversation so that you can use this from today and make it smooth? Right?
So it's different variation here, but initially in a initial conversation, if I've met a girl, I've complimented them, we're getting into a conversation, we're vibing. Something that I value in people is adventurousness, a spirit of adventure, seeing the world as a playable map where you can travel to. So I would date girls typically that have traveled, because I like to travel. I like if a girl travels. Typically people are more easygoing if they've traveled a bit. They're also more knowledge about themselves and the world, right? Because the world's a big place and you learn every time by traveling. So I will say when I'm vibing with a girl in a conversation, so tell me, you know, or she might have said, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I love to travel. I've traveled, you know, a lot for the last 6-7 years. Where's the craziest place you've been in the last 6 months, or what's something adventurous you've done travel-wise, right? And that's a safer way of getting onto a topic that could lead to sex, right? Because then she might go, oh, you know, I went to Ibiza, and I was like, what did you get up to there? So I'm not even necessarily saying, oh, what parties did you go to, what DJ did you sleep with, but the kind of, you can use that as a launch pad to kind of be accusatory or do something with that. So that's an example of how to play it in normal conversation.
So just to summarize that for you who's watching, is basically making an assumption about the topic. So for example, traveling, you'd go, you look like someone who's traveled a lot, like you've got an interesting worldview. Normally people get that from traveling, or partying. Like you look like someone who definitely parties, or, you know, if she's got a tattoo. I'm guessing that this is not the only tattoo that you've got. I'm guessing you've got tattoos somewhere else on your body as well. Like that would be a good way, instead of just asking it would be a better way to actually add value in the conversation, which is making the assumption. But I think what you were going to say now, which is how do you actually bring this up on a date?
The question game. We always use this as a structure on dates to teach clients. It's fantastic. You say to her, right, you know, we're going to play the interesting question game. Well, you don't even have to say that. You say, we both get 3 questions for the other person. The only rules are no boring questions, and you can't ask the same question. And I'll go first. And then you basically just ask stuff you're interested in. It's way more memorable. It's way deeper than the surface level nonsense guys usually talk about. Jobs and sometimes politics, religion. It's not sexy, right? Playing the question game, you want to do stuff that elicits emotion. So where's the craziest place you've traveled to in the last 6 months? Or what's the most adventurous thing? What's the craziest thing that's happened to you in the last 6 months? What's the craziest party you've ever been to? It gives you license, because you're already in that format of the structure of the game, to ask interesting, crazy questions. And then you can pivot on those and you can get more sexual. You build the game up and you can absolutely go into eventually, do you prefer good guys, bad guys?
So you basically gradually escalate the questions. To begin with, it's like, what's the craziest place you've traveled to?
Or death row meal one is the one I always use.
Give that one. I think you'd love that. The first time I tried that, the girl was just like, what the fuck? And then she got into
story
it.
Within a story. So you say, look, imagine we've got a beautiful house, we've got married, we've got 2 kids, we've got a life all set up. Where would the house be? Would it be California or, South Africa, Barcelona? California, she might say. You're like, one day you come home, you're excited to see me, and you find me having sex with our maid. And you go crazy, you get out the family shotgun, you blast her, and you blast me away. And then fast forward, you're on death row. It's your final night on planet Earth. And they come into your cell and they go, you've got one starter, choice for one starter, one main course, and one dessert, and one non-alcoholic drink and one alcoholic drink. And you can't say your grandmother's cooking, what would you pick? And it's interesting, right? Because it starts there and it goes off here. But I love that, because people come up with hilarious death row meals, and they get really into it.
The first time I did it, the girl was just sitting there going like, what the fuck is going, like what?
You've got to play the audience, right? On a really sophisticated Russian who's used to oligarch ships and caviar, she might just be like, what the fuck is this?
What is this that you are talking about?
What is
no,
this,
ask
Mr.
me
Bond?
Question and that is it.
Yeah, but it works well. It works well. It's interesting. But we want to do questions that elicit emotion, some good, some bad. Do you have any phobias? Craziest place you've traveled to? You're building up, and then you can, once she's comfortable and you're having fun with the game, you can move into the more kind of male to female topics.
Exactly. Also seeing what she's comfortable with. If you ask a question and maybe she you can see she's not 100% comfortable with the question. Maybe it's like, where on your body do you like to be kissed? And you can see she's not comfortable, dial it back. I've played this game where girls are quite close, and I've played this game where I say, right, you get the first question, and the first thing they say is, what's your favorite sex position? And I'm just sort of sitting there going, oh, that's interesting, So
they actually dial it up themselves.
Yeah, massively, yeah. However, all of this is pretty useless if you don't know how to deliver it correctly. In this video that we're going to put on the screen now, we give you the exact play-by-play, step-by-step on the perfect vibe that you need to have when you're flirting with a girl. So go watch that video next. We'll see you there.